Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and who out there is absolutely buzzing for the new Football Manager? I'm sure a lot of you have already played the beta version, but with the full version set to be released on November 24th, I thought I'd give you a hand if you're having doubts about who to be. Choosing a team on Football Manager can be difficult. You want a challenge, but you don't want it to be too hard. You want a bit of money to spend, but you still want to be able to wheel and deal and find golden nuggets from all over the globe. So if you're unsure about who to be on Football Manager 2021, I've got 9 clubs who you could try and have a load of fun with. Number 1, Sheffield Wednesday. We're starting with an obvious one, and I'm sure most people who like Championship football will be desperate to give this one a go. The Owls are a bit of a sleeping giant, a club who spent far too long outside the Premier League and have had to spend the last 2 years watching on in awe as their rivals Sheffield United upset the apple cart and win promotion, then defy the odds to not only survive but thrive in the top flight. All the while the Owls are stuck in the Championship, no closer to a return to the promised land, and if anything they're further away. After breaching the EFL's profitability and sustainability rules, the club were handed a deduction of 12 points that has since been reduced to 6, but either way presents you with an early hurdle to overcome. Can you escape the relegation zone and climb the table and eventually join your rivals in the top flight? What would be even more impressive would be if you could do it in your first season. Number 2, Barcelona. From a Championship club to one of the biggest in the world, Barcelona are in an absolute mess. Everything that could have went wrong this summer did, other than Lionel Messi actually leaving. They threw away the title rivals Real Madrid, they crashed out of the Champions League in humiliating fashion to Bayern Munich, then Lionel Messi decided he wanted to leave before eventually being priced out of a move away. I'd hate to be the man tasked with fixing that club, but do you reckon you could do a better job than Ronald Koeman? He was hardly a popular choice when he was appointed, with most people agreeing that he isn't the man to fix this club in crisis. No money to spend, the best player on the planet in a mood, big names on huge wages that don't live up to their performances, but a load of youngsters who have all the potential in the world. It's probably one of the easiest fixes in Football Manager land, but it's certainly one you should check out if you fancy being a big club who compete in Europe. Number 3, Rangers. Throughout history, Scottish football has been all about Celtic and Rangers, but when the blue side of Glasgow hit financial difficulty in 2012, the tide turned. There were no longer two dominant forces in Scotland, with just Celtic sitting top of the pile. They've been winning everything every season, and are now looking to secure 10 league titles in a row, which would be a record. But can you stop them? Realistically, Rangers are only going to be the only team who can do it, so why don't you take over from Steven Gerrard and see if you can put an end to the Celtic dominance before they claim another record. Then after that you can try and re-establish Rangers as a force in Europe and bring them back to their former glory. Or if you're a Celtic fan, maybe don't do this one. Number 4, Groningen. After Holland we go for a bit of a niche choice, and this one isn't even a real challenge as such, but come on, they've got Ian Robben back, what else do you want? The Netherlands have got a few big clubs and sadly Groningen aren't one of them, but with the power of Ian Robben's left foot, maybe you can cut in off the right and cause a shock. Groningen have got a great youth setup that's produced the likes of Ian Robben and Virgil van Dijk, so maybe if you can spend your time improving your youngsters, bring in some fresh young faces and helping them develop, you can potentially become one of Holland's top teams alongside PSV and Ajax. Number 5, Newcastle United. A personal favourite of mine as a Newcastle fan, I'm biased to think you should use Football Manager 2021 to turn Newcastle United into the force that pundits seem to think us fans think we should be. Seriously, we aren't actually expecting to qualify for the Champions League every season, we just want a team that's at least a little bit good and doesn't fluke every win like we do under Steve Bruce. Seriously, a monkey could do a better job than him right now, and that's probably disrespectful to monkeys. You've got a squad with some top attacking players, all you need to do is create a style and philosophy that gets the best out of them, something Steve Bruce hasn't been able to work out. Plus, with a bit of luck, you might get a takeover to help you climb the table, but just don't bank on it being Amanda Savory and the Saudis. Even in the virtual world of Football Manager, I bet Richard Masters in the Premier League would find a way of blocking it. Number 6, Deportivo La Coruna. We've got another offering from Spain, and if you're around the same age as me, you'll be shocked to see that Deportivo La Coruna are a club that's fallen on hard times. If you choose to be Deportivo on the new FM, you'll be starting your save in the 3rd tier of Spanish football. This is a club that once upon a time won La Liga and were competing in the Champions League, reaching the semi-final with the likes of Roy Mackay and Juan Carlos Valeron. It was a legendary team back in the day, but now they're nowhere near what they once were, so it's up to you, yes you, to drag this club from the Spanish mud, not sure if that's a thing, and take them back to the top flight and bring pride back to this once great side. Number 7, Inter Miami. Now we're heading stateside for an MLS challenge that I think you've got to try. David Beckham's Inter Miami and the new team on the block and the team to be, especially if you fancy testing yourself in a totally different footballing climate. And if you do decide to be Inter Miami, you'll at least arrive with some familiar faces. Beckham's side made 2 big signings this summer, bringing in World Cup winner Blaise Matuidi and elite goal scorer Gonzalo Higuain, 2 players who should be able to have an absolute field day on the soccer pitch. With those two players, you should be able to build a top team around them and complete David Beckham's dream of becoming the best team in the States. United States. Number 8, Harrogate Town. When football was put on hold earlier this year due to the whole pandemic thing, Liverpool fans were incredibly frustrated. They were on the brink of winning their first ever Premier League title, closing in on securing their first top division title in 30 years. But spare a thought for Harrogate Town, who were on the brink of something special themselves, qualification to the Football League for the first time in the club's history. Fortunately, when football was able to return, the Reds were able to win the Premier League and Harrogate Town were able to secure promotion to League 2. So to celebrate their debut in the Football League, why don't you see if you can guide them to safety or maybe even further up the footballing ladder? You'll at least have one familiar face in your ranks with former Sunderland and Blackburn forward John Stead. I mean, what more could you want? Number 9, AC Milan. We end things with a trip to Italy and the chance to manage a true fallen giant of European football. Sure, Barcelona are going through some tough times, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. They're still a top team with top players. But AC Milan, when was the last time they actually won something? Back in the day, they were the best team in the world, simple as that. But the wheels have fallen off so much since their last Serie A title win in 2011, and it's only now with the power of a 39-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic that they're showing signs of life. So why not test yourself in Serie A with a huge club and see if you can bring the glory days back and end the event a stranglehold on Italian football? Plus, every Football Manager player always signs Sandro Tonali. This way you won't have to, he's already there. Winner, winner. So there we go, those are 9 teams you should consider starting as on Football Manager 2021. Let me know who you're going to be, how you're getting on in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time we will see you around.